Hi, everyone. Hello, and welcome to another amazing training experience on Between the Reps. My name is Chris Atkins, and I'm the CEO and founder of 365 Daily Hustle. My coaching company is a global health, lifestyle, and mindset coaching company, and I am the number one mindset and health coach helping CEOs, coaches, and lady bosses boss up their bodies, mindsets, and their businesses so that they can create impact and financial freedom. I help these purpose-driven women 10x their habits, routines, and mindsets so that they can boss up, show up, and thrive in life. So as always, you guys, feel free to drop your questions, comments, and ahas down below in the chat. I will definitely do my best to get them answered. Each week at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, as you know, I go live with tips, strategies, and advice on how you, yes, you, can live your most epic life ever. So your journey to a healthier, happier, more fulfilling life starts right here on Between the Reps. This is your weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and real no BS talk to help you go from blah to badass. So if you find today's content and training useful, helpful, or just brilliant, please feel free to invite your friends into this community, wherever it is, whatever platform you're watching it on. You can catch every single episode right here in the Healthy Hustle Facebook community, which is designed and created for women who they know they're meant for more, right? They're on a mission. So if you're not a part of this group, feel free to come on over to the Healthy Hustle. We would love to have you. Again, that's the Healthy Hustle Facebook community. And it's geared for women who want it all, right? A healthy body, healthy life, thriving business, and a huge impact. So today we're going to talk about how to avoid burnout or overwhelm when you're feeling anxious about getting it all done. So get ready to say goodbye to burnout. Hello, life. I'm going to be giving you I believe it's 4 proven no BS strategies to help you create more balance and harmony in your life. And I just want to say hello. If you are catching this, please, again, feel free to share it or invite all of your friends to watch it because it's going to be fabulous. All right, let's get into it. So when it comes to creating this sense of work-life harmony or balance, a lot of women say this can't be done, right? Balancing it all out can't be done. And there's some truth to that, but there's also some bullshit to that. And I say that in the most loving way. So, yes, is everything going to be balanced at one time? Right? Like maybe not. But you can sure as shit feel really even, like a sense of flow in your life with the strategies that I'm about to give you. So if you're like work-life balance doesn't exist, then I'm going to tell you that it absolutely does because I have found a way to get it all done. If you guys don't know, like I am just as busy as every other woman, right? I make time for myself. My health is a priority. I have lots of time for my husband and my kids. I am a podcaster. I'm a TV show producer. I travel all around the world speaking on very large stages, and I run a very successful coaching business. So the idea of can a woman really have it all, do it all, and feel in harmony about it? I personally think you can. I'd love to know. Feel free to drop in the chat if you feel like your life is in control and very balanced out. Let me just give me a 10 if you feel like your life is on point. Give me a 1 if you're like, no, Carissa, there's 0 balance going on right now. Or just give me a 5. Like, where do you rank from 1 to 10? 10 being like everything's perfect, 1 being 0, there's chaos, there's overwhelm, there's anxiety, there's stress, right? And then everything in between. So feel free to drop and let me know, how you currently feel your life is when it comes to balancing it all out. All right, so let's get back to it. Okay, so the number 1 tip and strategy that I'm going to give you guys is when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm feeling stressed out, trying to get it all done, I just simply remind myself that, yes, I'm a human. It's not all going to happen at once. And stressing out about it isn't going to do anything good for me. In fact, I chose about a year ago not to do stress. And for a long time, that was my mantra or affirmation is I don't do stress. So no matter what would pop up on my calendar, on my plate, or some burning fire I had to go put out, I didn't do stress. I choose to be at peace and calm. So after I choose to get back into the flow of like awesomeness, right? Because my life, things go crazy. I remind myself, Carissa, you don't do stress and you know what to do in order to get yourself out of feeling overwhelmed. And the first thing that I do, y'all, is I get my whiteboard out, as you can see it way up there, and I do the following. I write out my priorities in life. Okay. So let me just show you what that looks like on my board. I'm not going to do it on my board, but I drew it out on a piece of paper. Okay. And I've done this and I've taught this in so many different things. I've been in corporations showing people how to be really balanced and create, work and flow and all that jazz. But it breaks it all down to this. So on one side of the paper, I want you to list out your top priorities for your life. Okay. And for every single one of us, this is going to look very different. And that is perfectly okay because nobody's life is the same. And what is important to me might not be important to you. But at the end of the day, when I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed out with all the things that I have to get done on my list or on my plate, I remind myself again, number one, Carissa, you don't do overwhelm. And then I start and write out my list. So on one side of the paper, it says top 5 life priorities. Okay. And then I just make some columns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5. Hopefully you see them there. Cool. So for me, I would put health and wellness. That is my number 1 priority because without my health, I have nothing, zero, zilch. Right? Without my energy, without my healthy body, without a healthy mindset, without motivated, like feelings of motivation, without my health and well-being, you guys, I would not be able to do everything that I get done. So that is honestly my number 1 priority. So I just simply put health and wellness. And then you're going to notice that I make some lists of things that support that priority. Okay, because we can't do it all. I know I like to think that I'm Wonder Woman, you guys, but I even recognize that I can't do it all, nor do I want to do it all. I'm in that place in my life that I just don't want to have to do it all. I no longer feel my ego creep up that says, Carissa, you have to do it all, because that is a freaking joke. There's no way I could even do that. And if I go in with that mindset of I've got to do it all, then I'm actually not going to be able to do anything 100% like really good. So this I like to look at is like, this is like the main, the main character. And these are the supporting actresses to help this role look fantastic. Okay. So I just list out health and wellness. And then what are 5 things that support my health and wellness? Well, for me, you guys know this, but it's daily exercise, food prep, I'm the food prep queen, daily meditation, self-care, meaning alone time. As much as I'm an extrovert, I actually re-juice up all my batteries by being an introvert and just being really quiet. I also have fun in nature. Okay. So for me, like health and wellness, that's going to be what I do every single week. And you guys can see, right, hubby, he's a priority. So like things that may be under your relationship with your partner could be weekly date nights. We have monthly couples massages. We cook together now. We explore. We go on vacations. We read. So we alternate books. He just picked out a new book for us to read. So I read a chapter, he reads the chapter, and then we come together and discuss it. Maybe your spiritual health is a priority. Maybe self-growth. And then down below, I put kids, family, and friends. And it's not that any of these aren't any more important than the other, you guys. Don't get me wrong. My health is the number 1, though. Okay. My mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. Don't just think number on the scale. Health has way more to do than just the number or the size of my body. So I really, truly think mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health. Okay. So that's number 1. I have to take care of me so that I can pour into others the way I want to do it. And then as you can see, I broke it down into just life priorities. Okay. The other side is business, right? Because as an entrepreneur of a very successful coaching empire, online coaching empire, my goal is to impact 1 million women. I want to teach them this year how to boss up their bodies, their mindsets, and their businesses. 1 million women. And in order to do that, I have to realize that I can't do it all. So I, of course, break it down into the 5 things that I can do. Okay. So I have clients and impact. So that may look like coaching calls. I update my Google Drive folders for them. I answer all their Voxer messages. I write all their meal, fitness, and business plans. I host retreats. Like these are things that I can do, okay, that I enjoy doing. Marketing, right? Social media, Facebook Lives, email newsletters, speaking, human connections, business development. I think my other ones are finances and then speaking. And this one has a second spot because in business, I can't do it all. And again, nor do I want to do it all. So I have a little spot that says delegate. So after I've rewritten out all of like what's important to me, because let's face it, sometimes we forget what's important. We start to get overwhelmed with all the things that we should be doing, could be doing, must be doing, need to be doing, like all that shit that we keep talking to ourselves, like, oh, I should be doing this and I could be doing more of that. That's all nice. But really, what's important to you, right? Really, at the end of the day, what is important to you? That is what a high priority is. And then it's your job to come up with 3 or 4 or 5 things that support that highest priority. Okay. This is something that I teach my elite clients only. It just helps them feel back in control, back like they have control over their areas of their life so that they stay out of the stress and the overwhelm. Because most women come to me to lose weight. And let's face it, I can write you the perfect meal plan. I can give you the perfect workout plan. I can even work on your mindset. But if you allow all that stress and that overwhelm and that anxiety to live inside your body, it's going to be really hard to get my clients the results. So it's really important that, my clients and now you understand what your 5 priorities are and then the supporting roles for those priorities. Does that sound like it's easy to do? Yeah. I mean, literally, it's a piece of paper, write it down, get very, very super clear. Okay, which brings me to the second step is to get organized and time block your calendar. I am a time blocking junkie. Okay, so when women say, Carissa, how do you do it all? I say, oh, that's easy. First off, I don't do it all. And second off, I schedule everything in my calendar, literally everything from my 4 to 6:30 a.m. Well, my 4 to 6 a.m. workout to getting ready for the day, to my spiritual practice, to me shutting off working hours, to me spending time with my family, to me cooking dinners. Even at 7:30 p.m., the little notification goes off and it says time to power down, right? Meaning time to shut off all the electronics, time to get ready for bed. Because yes, I go to bed at 8 p.m. because my sleep is also a priority. And in order for me to function and do what I need to do and get up at 3:45 in the morning to work out, to make me a priority, I have to go to bed on time. Okay. So sleep could very well be its own priority. If you don't get any sleep, then that definitely has to get on the thing because we need sleep. Okay. We need sleep. You need sleep. All right. And I started sleeping at 8 p.m. Everyone asks, like, oh my God, when did you start that? I started that about, let's see, 9 years ago. And so, yeah, sleep's always been a huge priority. I need my sleep in order for me to function and to be focused and productive and have clarity. So sleep's uber, uber important to me. So you've got to put it in your calendar. Okay. I want to go back to that because not everyone loves time blocking, but it's definitely something that you need to learn. A queen, a CEO of a company, like we don't just get to where we want to go hoping to God that our calendar has enough space for it. The biggest excuse that I see women make when it comes to not taking care of themselves, not taking care of their bodies or their relationships, is the fact that they always say, I don't have enough time. And that is freaking bullshit. That's bullshit. We all have the same amount of time in the world, right? We all have 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Successful people just know that they can't do it all. Unsuccessful people are still trying to get their hands in every freaking sugar pot, and they're like, but I got to do it all. I got to fold my kids' clothes and I got to do all the dishes and I got to cook all the meals. And I'm like, girl, you don't have to do all of that. You do have to take care of your body. It's the only one that you have. Okay. So that's why I'm so passionate about helping women create that sense of balance so that they can get back into working out and eating clean and stressing less and meditating and doing all that jazz. So time blocking is something that I teach my clients how to do, right? From day one, it's like, hey, welcome to the program. Put this in your calendar now, right? So if you're a client of mine, you absolutely know that this is true and true. It's everything that I do. I'm like, cool, put it on the calendar. Cool, put it on the calendar. Because there's something funny about when women put things on the calendar, right? So let's just pretend, well, it's not even pretend, because most of my people that are watching this are career focused women, executives, C-suite, entrepreneurs, CEOs, coaches, etc. They're high powered women. Okay. They're women on a freaking mission, just like me. And what gets on the calendar is typically, it's always work stuff. Okay. Work stuff. And they would never miss a board meeting. Okay. But yet they will miss all day long. Oh, I just didn't get to the gym. Oh, I didn't get to I didn't even have time to stop and eat a lunch. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You didn't have time to eat a lunch? If that's the case, then you need to start delegating a lot more. Okay. You need to ask for the help, because 20 years later, with that mentality of I've got to do it all and be everywhere and just sacrifice myself, it's going to put you into the grave. Okay. It is what it is. Okay. When you're sick, when your body is not functioning, it's opened up for diseases. So you have to make time for yourself. So start scheduling you back on the calendar. Even if it's just 20 or 30 minutes a day, start small. But damn it, ladies, put yourself on the calendar. This really fires me up when I look at clients' calendar and not a single appointment is up there to support them. It's all business. Okay. I wish I could show you my calendar. It's literally like self-care sandwiches. It's like self-care in the morning time, self-care in the morning time again, and a little bit of work, and then lunch, and then self-care, and then work, and then self-care. It's a beautiful, beautiful layer of tiramisu of self-care for me. That's how I get it all done. Awesome. Okay. So the next strategy is to get control of your never ending to-do list. Okay. So this scroll of to-do lists that you have been building, right, for a decade now, is not serving you. In fact, if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed with all the stuff that's on your to-do list, I want you to consider yourself, or I want you to consider revamping it. So if you don't have a master to-do list, first off, I would say come together, go around your house, go around your business, start writing everything that you need to do in order for you. If you felt incredibly successful at the end of the day, what is everything that you would want done? You all know what I'm talking about, right? The laundry list of to-do lists. So once you have that list, now this is the sweet spot. So once you have that beautiful list, I want you to follow the triple D rule, which is do, delegate, or delete. Okay. So I want you to ask yourself, once that list is fully made up, what are all the things that I can only do? Meaning only you in your business or only you in your life can do. Okay. Then I want you to ask yourself, what do I need to delegate? Hey, you working mamas, I see you, right? You're still making your kids' beds, folding their laundry, doing the dishes, feeling overwhelmed, the house is a hot mess because you don't know how to get it all done yourself. Okay. So the trick here is that we have kids, let's teach them how to be good kids and amazing, responsible adults. Okay. My kids have been doing laundry since they were 4 years old, even if it meant they would attempt to fold it and put it away. Cool. It's not my job to sit there and be that's not how we fold things. No, let them fold it. Let them be independent. My kid's been cooking her own sushi and Sarah's been cooking all of her own meals since she was probably 9. I shouldn't say all of her meals. That's ridiculous. But when she's hungry, she goes and cooks herself something to eat. Okay. So I've taught her at a very young age how to cook, how to food prep, how to do all of those things, because I don't want her to grow up not knowing how to freaking do some of this stuff. Right. I've had clients who don't know how to cook meals, who have zero idea how to do laundry because they're mom did all that for me. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So it's my job as a mama to raise these kids how to be, independent, responsible adults. So start delegating. Let's switch gears. Let's put the CEO hat on. This last year is something that I did big time in my business is I started delegating everything that I didn't want to be doing or that wasn't fun for me. So yes, I get you. I see you. You're wearing multiple hats. Okay. But all of those hats are like weighing you down. So it's time to take off the marketing hat. Maybe you need to hire a part-time VA to help you with all the social media. Maybe you need to hire a bookkeeper. Maybe you need to hire someone to do your taxes because shit, you're still trying to get like the final deadline of extensions in. Like, come on, hire that out. That's low energy shit that you don't need to be doing. If you don't like doing it, if you're procrastinating it on it, then delegate it out. Okay, so do, delegate, or just simply delete. Okay, there are a lot of things that just get added back onto the calendar that like never actually ever get done. Like ask yourself, do I really need to do this? Is my business surviving without it? Are my kids surviving without me doing X for them? Am I surviving without doing this for me? Okay, so ask yourself, do I really even need this on my list? Chances are, if it keeps getting added to the list and you just keep skipping it over, there's like two reasons for it. One, there's a reason you're procrastinating on it. And then we take a holistic approach to what is that procrastinating on that one specific thing keeping you from, right? There's some sort of protection in procrastination. Or the other side is it just like a useless activity that you never have time for? So it's time to like delete it off the list. You get my point here. Do, delegate, or delete. We cannot do it all. All right, the fourth and final one. I've saved this to the end because I didn't know if I was going to have time. I think I'm going to try and get it done because it has everything to do with setting strong boundaries. I thought about putting this on the next week's episode, but dang it, I feel that it's very important. Okay, so we're going to just get through it now. So I'm going to ask you guys to start setting and creating very strong boundaries. Healthy boundaries are the limits that you put in place around your time, your emotions, your body, your mental health in order for you to stay resilient, solid, and content with who you are. These empowering borders protect you from being used, drained, and manipulated by other people. Okay. Healthy boundaries are the limits you place around your time, your emotions, your body, and your mental health. People with solid boundaries tend to have lower levels of stress and higher self-esteem because they prioritize themselves. So this is something that I work with my clients all the time on, is setting powerful boundaries for themselves. So there's like maybe like 3 tips to setting boundaries that I'll leave you with. Number 1 is to visualize and name your boundary or your limit, whatever you want to call it. The first and foremost important step to identifying your boundaries is to make them concrete. Boundaries are often confusing and abstract because they feel invisible in our daily lives. Okay, so I want you to just grab a piece of paper and start thinking, like, where in my life do I need to set some boundaries? And I think the easiest thing to do that is like, where in my life do I feel very stressed? And ask yourself, why do I feel so stressed about it? Oh, I don't have enough boundaries put into place. If you're finding yourself answering the email at 10 p.m. at night, the boundaries is you need to put your own boundary on your work time. But like, maybe your boss has said, hey, could you get that done by tomorrow and send it over? Okay, like maybe the boundary should have been like, no, actually, I'm not going to be able to get this done. You just gave it to me at 5 p.m. We're done working at 5:30. This is clearly a 5-hour project and I've got to spend time with my family, right? That's a powerful boundary that you can set for yourself in your business. So I want you to just grab a piece of paper and start naming your boundaries, getting very crystal clear on where you need to set some powerful boundaries. Okay. The second step in boundaries is like openly communicating your boundaries. This is probably very hard for a lot of you to do. One of the biggest mistakes that I see my women make is that setting boundaries in their minds or on paper, but they don't openly share them with the people in their life. Sometimes people assume that you should know what their boundaries are, but if they didn't get any clear communication, then how are they supposed to know when to draw the line? I used to have a boss all the time. He would seriously say, hey, Carissa, you would put something on my plate. This was in my corporate role. He'd put something on my desk at like 3 p.m. with a Post-it that said, can you get this done? And I had very, very healthy boundaries put into place. And I said, I would call him up, right, from my office. I'd be like, hey, I got your message. I have no problem getting that done because it is something that, falls under marketing or HR. But I said, however, I'm already working on X, Y, and Z, which are pretty like high level, priorities for this job. I said, would you like me to stop what I'm doing there and work on this new project? Or do you want me to fit this new project into my calendar, but it won't be done by tomorrow? Either way, right? And then he knew that the expectation was like, you can't put that kind of shit on me. I can't get it done in time and have it be perfect, right? Or even somewhat perfect. So you have to be willing to communicate your boundaries with your partners, with your kids, with your bosses, with yourself. Okay. If you're telling yourself you don't have time, I want you to ask yourself why, and then set some powerful boundaries around that. Maybe you have all the time in the world, 8 hours a day to work on your business, but you allow your phone and other distractions to get the best version of you. Set some boundaries. And the third kind of tip on boundaries is don't be afraid to say no. I know you've all met someone who seemed like the yes person. Like, you could probably stop and think, who do I know in my life that I could call and they would do like anything for me? Yeah, this is a yes person. This is a people pleaser, and you might be that person, okay? So if you're that person, I want you to get really good at saying no. People are afraid to say no because, like they just want to be helpful. I'm like, well, but who are you being helpful for? You're definitely not being helpful for yourself. A yes for everybody else is a no for you, and that I have a problem with. There has to be balance with the yeses and the nos. I have a really cool how to say no with grace, not guilt handout in the Healthy Hustle Facebook community. So let me know. Just put say no below, and I will definitely tag you on where you can find that, because it's a really easy PDF and it really will help you learn to step up for yourself and say no to things that don't serve you. So when you know what your priorities are, you guys, and someone says, oh, hey, could you do this for me? Say your brother calls you and says, oh, Carissa, can you watch my dog for like 4 days? I'm going out of town. I would be like, okay, let me look at my calendar. And if I don't feel like doing something, I would say, you know what? I'm sorry, I cannot. I don't feel bad about that. Okay. I'm not going to be someone's doormat, because on my calendar, it may look really, really busy. You may be very, very busy and you just can't take on one more task. It's okay to say no. No is a freaking statement. All right. So learn to say no. Let's see. I think that's all I want to really talk about today. I think I'm also going to create a whole like ways to set boundaries for the workaholic, because I used to consider myself a workaholic. So I'm going to maybe come back with a Facebook Live on more on boundaries if you're open to that. Next week is our third week, which means the third Monday of every month, I talk about stress and I give you a guided meditation. The fourth week, I take all of your top 5 questions throughout the entire month. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. But I take and answer all of them, giving you real life coaching tips, advice, and strategies on your questions. So I think I'm going to come back and talk to you guys about how to set boundaries for the workaholic, for the working mama who's always working and never has enough time for anybody else. So I think since October has a 4th Monday in the month, I will just straight up come back on that 4th and we will talk more on boundaries if you're cool with that. If you're cool with that, give me like a heart or something like that, and I will definitely do that. I'll schedule that in. See how I scheduled it in? All right, y'all. So I'm going to end it with that. I am curious, what was your biggest takeaway, your biggest piece of like, golden nugget that you learned from watching today's Between the Reps episode? I hope you found today's information informative and fun. So please feel free to, subscribe to my YouTube channel, come say hello on Instagram, or join the Healthy Hustle if you're not already in it. And for those of you Healthy Hustle women, thank you for being here. Please share this video with anyone you know needs a little bit more support, guidance, and love when it comes to creating boundaries and healthy habits in their life. So I love y'all. Have a beautiful day.